And apparently it's going to be another nomad in here. It's going to be something different. Bedouins, yeah. Because you cannot really repeat on the fourth map the home map that has already been played. And Nomad has already been played by the Spanish team. And it's going to be Bedouins, which is this kind of fun map. You are having the wood line all around you. And of course, the resources are going to be spread also a bit more on the perimeter in here. You can see the golds and stones are all around. And there are also ponds with a lot of shellfish on them. So definitely it's going to be worthwhile for you to middle them rather than the berries. And especially if you are having like a double like here. That could be even better for you. So that's something to keep an eye on. Let's turn off the chat so that we are not spoiled by any GGs or whatnot. And of course, the players are right now going to be starting themselves at interesting spots, because this is actually Japan A, May. And against him, right next to him is going to be Caligula from Spain E. And oh well, this is going to be quite interesting because, of course, even though Caligula is going to be coast off, basically, we could be saying, it also... Oh, he's going to be right now protecting the board. This is actually a nice idea from him. He already knows that he's going to be right next to his opponent. Yeah, has he scouted it? Yes, he has. So he fully knows that he needs to protect the board in here. This is actually very nicely played by him. Very nice, quick thinking. And, well, Enigma CT is making an appearance in here yet again after the game number 1, I think, that he was playing in. So, to finish my thought a bit earlier that blue is going to be closed off, but May is actually going to be basically controlling him. It also has to be said that right now May is going to be having a bit harder access to actually resources than his opponent. And it's going to be a bit trickier for him, potentially a bit defensible position, bit more defensible position for Caligula in there overall. But the spawns otherwise skills on the right, chart in here at the bottom. It's going to be having a very good economy through the shorefish. And next to pond, this is actually nice for him. And second we said about Enigma CT, and they are literally all across the place, and Enigma is going to be basically alone between chart and... Yeah, you can already mill Chocobo in there, but otherwise he's quite far away from that position. And yeah, he has already scouted quite a lot, and let's check his point of view, just to basically confirm how well he's scouting with all those sheep. Found another source of them, but unfortunately one sheep cannot really convert another sheep. If it could, well, that would be a pretty nice bonus, but of course it would be even more ridiculous than scouting sheep. That wouldn't really be that great. So Chocobo and May, it's gonna be a bit of a fight right now against Caligula and Erkaos, whereas at the bottom we would be probably expecting a bit of a fight between Chart and Enigma CT, and that's probably not gonna be pretty good news for Enigma CT, and Chart is probably going to be quite happy about this kind of development of the situation. Also having the relic right next to his TC, and where is actually his gold though? Quite far away. 2 gold mines in there, but really far away from him. So that might be a bit tricky for him. But at the same time, the same is true right now for Enigma. Also quite far away, so it's not going to be that easy for him either. Looking at the civilizations, we are looking at Mayans, Chinese, Persians for both. So in that regard, it's going to be pretty much fair. Pretty much fair. Nice gold right now for Chocobo. This is actually a pretty good spawn for him. With the boar, the deer, and another gold on the left side. And otherwise, well, do we see something fairly interesting more or not? Probably not. What could be tricky right now for Caligula in this position is that since he's close to May, this gold mine might be a bit trickier than he might be hoping for. The gold for May, basically the same. So yep, definitely curious how this duo is going to be doing. Because this might be one that will be quite significant for the game to come. Especially right now, looking at Caligula getting all the shorefish in there, I'm kind of expecting that he's going to be having faster advances and better economy. And it might be really a bit of problems for May in there. Otherwise, you'll be of course interested, or rather expecting from May as the Persian knights in the castle age, whereas from the mine we will be expecting the archers, so that will be potential advantage for May. So he might really be, in the end, having a better game than his opponent in there, even through the potentially worse economy. But Persians and their economy, that's a story for itself. And once he gets into the castle age, all those extra TCs, that's just going to be kicking in. Erkaos also having a very nice position right next to it. So this is basically right now definitely a theme for the Spanish team. You can see one temple, no, the next building, town center from D. next to the fishies for Caligula as well, and Enigma also. So basically all three of them. So this is basically confirming that it's their home map and they definitely know how to play on it. Whereas for the opponent is basically just chart next to pond. Whereas Chocobo is quite far away from it. He did have to mill it just now, and of course same is right now true for May, so that's a bit different gameplay from the Japan A. Even through that though, they are winning on the score quite significantly right about now. Yeah, it's 40 points, which is basically 10% of all the points that they are having, more than 10%. So that's actually a pretty good advantage for them, especially through the economy, looking at 20-17 for them, and for BYTs, aka Spain E, it's 17, 18, 19, so really, the economy is already better for the Japanese team. Scouting by the sheep, this is going to be basically given to the purple opponent. Yeah, it's not like he minds all that much. And Enigma is also moving right now forward with extra mill, and so it's true for chart. Just waiting for the first few villages to be coming in. So far, not really. Right now Enigma is going to be clicking as the first one with 20 villages, whereas Chart and Chocobo are apparently going to be advancing with a bit more, 22 and 23. It's going to be 22 villages for Chart, 23 for Chocobo, and yep, otherwise the other players are going to be advancing as well. So the only one who isn't is Yellow, is May, who is taking his time. He did have a bit of problems in there because he was basically denied the board that was coming for his opponent through the very nice palisade wall in there. That definitely paid off quite significantly for him. So right now Chocobo, or rather May, at 21 villages. He should be just now already clicking. Has he actually forgotten to click in? Or what? He's just going for... He's probably going for some fast castle, it seems like. Because he's really going for a lot of villages right about now. He's going for 23 apparently. Right now he's going to be clicking into Loom and then into the next age. So actually that may be quite slow. And a point for Caligula to actually somehow abuse. As a Mayan, we would be expecting that he might be actually dropping archer ranges. But since he's not going for even barracks for some kind of drush, or not drush, just basically normally go in for something like the archers, he might be actually aiming for faster castle and drop a castle on his opponent. It might be some kind of idea for him, and I'm really thinking that right now May is also thinking basically the same. You can already see that he's having so much food right now on his table. So yeah, I'm fully expecting that he's going to be fast castling, and luckily for him, his opponent is going to be doing the same. But luckily for him, not exactly sure if it's luckily that much, because of course the castle drop could be quite deadly, especially if it happens on the gold that will be denying this, and then the next gold is going to be quite far away for the yellow player. Where exactly? Here at the bottom. Because this one is going to be controlled by Caligula as well. So far Caligula playing this very nicely. We are looking at some archers going to be probably produced at the bottom by chart. Is it going to be coming somewhere to the bottom, or is it just sheep? And that's it. That's it for him, as Chocobo in the meantime is just now trying to make sure that those villages are going to be safe through the palisades. Otherwise he's going to be continuing with building something inside the home base in here and trying to protect the gold as well, because he's right now probably expecting that he might be raided by some of his opponents. This is very nicely played by Caligula. Pairing with the archer range. Castle age is right now being clicked in by Chart and Chocobo, so they are going to be quite fast into the third ages. Basen can be right now set for May. He's just going to be dropping probably blacksmith, maybe even market. Let's see. Yeah, he's having pretty big problems right now with the economy, seems like. I come in for the blacksmith and for a stable. Okay, so he's having just enough. I just haven't noticed that he already clicked into the stable in that, so that's going to be that. And once he finishes with the blacksmith, he's going to be advancing into castle age. He's going to be following his teammates into the next age. So far, not really anything like that happening from Caligula. Dropping a watchtower to basically make sure that this gold is going to be his for the minutes to come. And hopefully for the remainder of their lifetime. As in the meantime, of course, the pocket player is having at least a few scout cavalry guys coming up. But otherwise, he probably is going to be aiming for the castle age as well. Looking around his base, not really anything out of the ordinary so far happening. 2 archer ranges for the Mayan, for Chart. Going to be probably preparing for a bit of raiding, but he needs to be right now worried about Enigma's scout cavalry, because of course they are going to be a bit better in dealing with the archers than the archers in dealing with them. But it can be easily mitigated by some spearmen from the barracks that is right on top of his opponent. So definitely going for it quite aggressively. Chart right now. So yes, scout cavalry coming in. Scout cavalry coming in, and well, of course, that's going to be a bit of an issue for him, but he definitely has to have not that much of it. So far, May is having enough gold, so he can produce some knights right off when he advances. Castle Age is just now, at least for Caligula, it's not going to be that much of a difference between May and him. But yeah, right now we are looking at crossbowmen at the bottom, and of course that's going to be a bit more of an issue, because of course at that point the scout cavalry is not going to be strong enough, especially since they are just now trying to aim for Chocobo, but Chocobo is already prepared exactly for that. Not all that much inside his own base, just protecting at least the gold, but he himself is already coming for next town center and producing the knights for the raiding. Yeah, he's probably going to be trying to delete all those scout cavalry guys and then aim into the pocket. Would be fully expecting that. Castle is just now hitting for May. Some first knights are going to be coming in. And how's it looking with the castle just now for Caligula? Well, gathering enough stone, but not really enough for a castle. Not really enough for that at all. He's just now finishing with the wall. I don't understand why he didn't just finish next to the wood line. It would have been just slightly better, but yeah, he didn't really want to do that. As of course right now, May is also going to be having a bit of fun with a few scout cavalry guys coming in. And if you are maybe hearing some strange hits and strange sounds, that might be because there is actually storm brewing outside of my windows with some... Actually, it's hailstorm, so yeah. Maybe you are going to be hearing a bit of loud noises here and there. But yeah, don't be alarmed. It's just nature doing its work. After the very hot temperatures that we are having in Czech Republic in here. But it's going to be a bit better, hopefully. Right now. So looking at the economies, looking at the raiding right now by crossbowmen at the bottom, trying to deny the market, and they are going to be denying, of course, because those scout cavalry guys are not going to be strong enough to deal with this at all. Castle Age for Chaos, and there's going to be one left for Enigma City. And he was going for a market. So was he going to advance or sling? Well, since there is pretty strong sling nerf on the Nations Cup patch, I don't really expect that was the case. So he was just probably trying to advance to the next stage. But right about now, he really cannot. He really cannot, because he doesn't have the resources at all. If you have a look at the top, he's having just 160 food. So yeah, pretty tough deal for him. As there is attempted raiding by Red, who is trying to get into the gold miners, and he seems to be at least denying the gathering time, which is of course valuable as well. Yeah, those purple guys not doing anything. This is just some sheep. And also a bit of scout cavalry from Chaos, who is trying to find something to kill, but so far not really all that successfully. In the meantime, Yellow May has broken through and is attempted to deny the castle, but unsuccessfully for him, which is of course pretty huge victory right about now for Caligula, because it's going to be quite hard to take down at this stage for May. And May will have to right now hope that his rams are going to be enough, but not really sure about that, because of course the spearmen are already in. And that might be really kind of bit of a tougher nut for Caligula, or rather for May, than he was hoping for. So of course this is resulting into May switching into a pocket player, which definitely makes a whole lot of sense. He's going to be helping Chaos, or rather Chocobo, in there with the fight. And that seems to be quite alright-ish going. You can see already the 4th dead bodies of the villagers as a 5th skeleton in there. So that already damage is being done into the economy in pretty big numbers. Nicely played by Chart, trying to find some choke points so that he can actually abuse the opponent economy as much as he can, and of course pick off those scout cavalry one by one, exactly as he's doing, and he's doing a pretty good job of that. So our challenge is going to be finished, so that's going to be some skirmishers coming up to try and get rid of all those guys. Yes, it's just one knight. I was just kind of looking who was actually hitting some building somewhere, and it's just this one low knight. And still, there's going to be a few villages dead in there. If Chart actually notices fast enough, which he does. Yeah, this is actually going to be quite costly, because they are having enough range to even shoot at all of this wood line. Oh, this is going to be bad. This is going to be pretty bad. Yeah, this economy is definitely going to suffer, and even though this watchtower is a nice idea, it's unfortunately still in a pretty decent range of those crossbowmen, and it will cost even more lives than it necessarily had to. And right now, of course, this is a pretty huge disaster for Enigma, because he's been dropped to just 22 villages. Just 22 villages, and he's going to be getting even worse. Yeah, he's right now at 20, and right now at the top there is a way through actually yet again. There's a way through for all those knights to come in, but the base is pretty much condensed. So if those monks are going to be converting at least a few of those knights, it could be having quite enough even to defend against the veteran rams in combination with the plume touches to get rid of potentially monks of his opponent, who is attempting to do so, but basically just to counter-convert the knights that he's going to be losing in there. His double combo of the castle and town center is pretty strong. But yeah, it's of course going to be kind of tough to do anything out of that position. But right now, with the help from Erkaos, it actually could be working quite alright. Market coming up for the Persians, and well, of course, right now, a bit of raiding on the wood line, which so far Yellow actually doesn't know about. He was just right now looking potentially on the micro at the top, it seems like. But right now he has finally noticed and is running away. So with the village trying to deny too many dead villages, but already quite a lot of died. Quite a lot of died, like about 6, 7 villages. That's actually a pretty huge hit. Right now being dropped to 36 villages, and I'm fairly certain that he wasn't far behind his teammates who are at 57. So he had to have lost. He had to have lost at least 10 villages in the raid, so that's actually a pretty great job by Erkaos in there. Now Chocobo right now going to be coming into the middle, probably switching into the pocket player, but he is already ready with some monks. As at the bottom, of course, the crossbowmen are still continuing in being quite annoying and killing as many villages as they potentially can. And still keeping Enigma at a very low amount of villages himself. So yeah, the economy you can see is basically right now literally double. 59, 60 and 42 is basically the double of 39, 33 and 25. So the Japanese team is just basically inching towards ever greater advantage for them, as their opponents are trying to do what they can, and they are not really that bad at that. But of course, this Mangonel with the priest, and on top of that a few knights in there, they are going to be getting rid of everything that is standing in their way. And so it could be right about now set about the red army in the middle that is just waiting to pounce. And of course right now we are seeing the first GG's going to be called, because the situation is exactly the double economy. Enigma not advancing into Castle Age, not even going to be able to get there, so there's not much point for them to continue, and it's going to be a GG, and Japan A winning the match of the round 1 of Silver League of the Sci Nations Cup 2017 against Spain E 4-0. So good job on that. And let's check the achievements in there. It's going to be for Chart. I kind of have to say that he really did play the most important part. He was basically absolutely strangling Enigma. He cannot do anything. He cannot even advance into Castle Age. That's how well actually Chart control him. But yes, sometimes that happens. And from the opponent's Caligula, nice start, but unfortunately He wasn't able to emerge from his shell a bit later. Okay then, GG.